morning everybody, I am Sarah with the trains, and today I am heading off on a journey to explore some of the stations between Peterborough and Nottingham. Our first stop of the day is going to be Grantham, so let's head off and get the train. For a second I thought we'd hit the Holy Grail and got a 4-car 158 unit on the Liverpool Lime Street route. Turns out it's actually separating here, so we've just got the 2 cars. It's still going to be a good journey on my favourite Sprinter.
Speak to our team or text the British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
The See It, Say It, Sorted announcement just said speak to our team rather than speak to staff. I think it's the first time I've heard a variation on that announcement. We have made it to Grantham! So this isn't actually the original station in Grantham. The original station was called Old Wharf and opened in 1850 on a line opened by the Ambergate, Nottingham, Boston and Eastern Junction Railway. They were taken over by the Great Northern Railway in 1854. Now this station was opened in 1852. The current station was opened on the Great Northern Railway line from Peterborough to Retford. In 1857, the Boston, Sleaford and Midland Counties Railway opened a line from Barkston Junction, about 2 miles north of Grantham, to Sleaford, and onwards to Boston in 1859. The Grantham to Lincoln line, which branched off the Sleaford line at Honington, opened in 1867. In 1879, the Great Northern and London and North Western Joint Railway opened a line from Market Harborough and Leicester Belgrave Road through Melton Mowbray to Nottingham and Newark, crossing to the Grantham to Nottingham line near Bottesford, allowing the Great Northern Railway to operate a service from Grantham to Leicester from 1882 to 1953. In 1937, there were improvements made under the LNER. The platforms were lengthened from 800 feet to 940 feet to accommodate the length of express trains, and the platform height was raised up to a standard 3 feet. Now, there have been quite a few accidents at Grantham Station, so I'm going to hand over to narration Sarah to take you through those. In 1868, a Great Northern Railway cleaner named William Collins was run over and killed by a guard's van. In the same year, 80-year-old John Boswell was killed by a down train whilst wandering along the line near the station. In 1873, the Great Northern Railway driver Thomas Robinson was fatally struck by a ballast engine in the yard. In 1887, driver Eli Adelsey was killed by wagons that were being shunted. In 1898, John William Frisbee, a GNR shunter, was killed while crossing the line near the station. On the 7th of July 1898, the 9:25 p.m. express from Manchester collided with a goods engine crossing from the up sidings to the down main line. 6 passengers, a guard, and both drivers were slightly injured. On the 19th of September 1906, a sleeper train derailed after overrunning signals and passing through the station at excessive speed. 14 people were killed and 17 injured. So now we've had that brief station history, let's have a look at the facilities we've got here at Grantham. Here we've got 4 platforms, one of which is a bay platform. Over on platform number 1, you've got all the facilities. You've got the Costa coffee, vending machines, waiting rooms, toilets, ticket buying facilities. We've got glorious benches as always. Over on platform 1, you've got that lovely canopy. And up there the footbridge, which we'll have a little run over in a minute. Well, not run, a little walk. Up here we've got the lift that takes you down to the platform. We have got departure screens over here. We had them on the other platforms as well. I just forgot to get an image of them. Out here we have got the old station building, as well as the car park. And not to forget cycle parking. Right, I now need to head off and get my train to my next station of the day, which is going to be Bottesford. I would have had more time here, but quite a bit got eaten up by the fact that the ticket machines don't work properly. Wouldn't have used them if there wasn't such a big queue at the ticket office. Right, let's go get the train. Oh, look at this really cool station diagram out here. Excellent. I'm actually a bit annoyed at myself at the minute because I packed my camera away so I could go to the loo, and just as I did that, a freight train rolled through and honked, and I don't have that on camera.
Welcome on board this East Midlands Railway service to Nottingham, calling at Wainfleet, Boston, Heckington, Sleaford, Grantham, Bottesford, Bingham, Radcliffe and Nottingham.
After a ride on that lovely Turbo Star, we are now here at Bottesford. We're going to be here for a couple of hours. This station was opened in 1850 by the Ambergate, Nottingham, Boston and Eastern Junction Railway. To the east of this station there was a link to the Great Northern Railway's Leicester to Newark cross-country route. This was in use by freight services until 1988, but after the freight services stopped, the tracks have since been lifted. In addition to the current station, there was a second station serving Bottesford, Bottesford South. This was on the line that went north to Newark. Sadly, this was closed in the 1960s, and nothing now remains. On the 7th of January 1963, steam trains on the route from Grantham to Nottingham were replaced by DMUs. There was a community garden here opened by the Duchess of Rutland in 2019 that was built on a bit of derelict land at the station, so we'll have to see if we can find that in a minute. Now that we've had that quick little station history, let's go and see what's here at Bottesford. We have got 2 platforms. They are staggered. On the train, the announcement said that if you were getting off at Bottesford, you needed to be in the front 2 coaches of the train, because it was a 4-car unit. But when we got here, all the doors on the train opened. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Because these platforms are plenty long enough to accommodate a 4-car unit. Heading down this way, we have got information signs about the EMR app. I think Miles, the mascot for EMR, is so cute. A sign to the car park. Have a wander down there later. A rectangular flappy plastic bin. The good old tactile paving. Station sign with a lovely purple stripe. Some more information for passengers. A train timetable. That's going to be useful. Let's check when the next train is. So we need one going to Nottingham, and it's a Saturday. Doopy-doopy-doo. So we are here now, and the next one is in 2 hours nearly. So we're here a while. Also on the timetable, it tells me this is the Poacher line. I can't remember which one of my subscribers ages ago asked me, am I going to do the Poacher line? I'm doing it right now. The tone of my voice was supposed to be excited. I don't want it to come off as shrill. Another flappy plastic bin. A sign encouraging people to be kind to staff. This is the second of my journeys where I've seen one of these signs. It's really sad that we have to have these signs up to remind people to be nice to others. Oh, here comes a non-stopping train! Down here we have got a level access ramp taking you to the level access to platform 2. So the level access is a barrow crossing, so not the easiest accessibility wise if you're using a mobility aid. So you do have to be very careful because, of course, as the sign says, there's going to be trains coming both ways. And I know there's going to be a train coming in a few minutes. So I'll check out the rest of the level access in a bit. We have a sign that references this problem. You must call the signaller if you're in a wheelchair, mobility scooter, using a pushchair, or likely to experience difficulty in crossing. And here's the phone to do that. Obviously, as always, one of my favourite signs is a safety sign. Stop, look, listen. Now, you probably can't see, but in the very, very far background, there is a level crossing. And I have just seen that the barriers have gone down. So we await a train going through that's going to be going to Skegness. That was 174.16. Also on the platform we have got the classic bus shelter style waiting shelter. The low down perchy bench, they're not the high up perchy bench. I will accept these as good seating. Over this way we've got a footbridge to go to platform 2, so let's have a wander over there. This way there is also onward travel information and another timetable. We've got a grip bin. That way takes you down to the barrow crossing. This way takes you up to the platform. My goodness, it's bright today. We've got a route map of the EMR area, another timetable, onward travel information, a help point, a solar powered help point no less, a bench, a rectangular flappy plastic bin again, another bus shelter style waiting shelter, and another bench. Now, I don't know anything about Bottesford the place, so I'm going to go and explore that now because I've got a little while here, and I'm going to do that via the level access. It's always good to test that out, I think. Grip bin. Now, I'm not sure whether this is a building associated with the railway or not, but it's a very pretty little building, but sadly it is being demolished. I'll have to have a look on historic maps and see if I can find out what this is. Or rather was. Now out here we have got some cycle parking next to a grit bin and the station car park. We do have this beautiful old station building, although sadly it's no longer in use. Next to the building we've got two accessible parking spaces, another solar powered help point, some engineering works posters, and an EMR ticket machine, which also functions as a departure screen, which is very, very useful. We also have more information from EMR, including a poster that bans e-scooters, hoverboards and e-skateboards. And I've also found the Bottesford Friendly Garden, which I mentioned earlier. It even features a toilet. Now, I've seen from the map that there is a park and indeed a river going through Bottesford, so let's go and visit that. I love a bit of nice scenery. And if there's a park, there might be swings. I found a sign that says there's a footpath, it doesn't say where it goes. Let's go down it anyway. It has led us down to the church. I love a good historical cemetery. My nemesis, the Kissing Gate. Ooh, there is a lovely information board about Bottesford. Now, something on this map intrigues me. The Witchcraft Tomb. I've just been reading that this refers to the 6th Earl of Rutland, Sir Francis Manners. His tomb is in the chancel at the church. He believed his two sons died as a result of witchcraft. 3 local women were arrested in 1617. Joan Flowers died on the way to trial at Lincoln. Her daughters Margaret and Philippa were tried and executed. On the tomb, the figures of 2 boys carry skulls. That sounds interesting. Let's see if the church is open and if we can see that. Right, so the front door is open, but the inner door does appear to be locked, so I don't think we're going to get to see the witchcraft tomb, I'm afraid. Good old morbid headstone with skull and crossbones. As if by magic, I am now back at Bottesford station, ready to head off to my next station of the day. I've been umming and ahhing about where this should be. I've decided it's going to be Radcliffe, because it's going to be easier to visit some of the other stations coming back. So let's go to Radcliffe. I also really want to see if I can do Elton and Orston today, which is a very difficult little station to visit because there's only one train in the afternoon. So we'll see if we can incorporate that. We have now made it to Radcliffe. We've got less than an hour here before we head back up the line. This station, as with Bottesford and the original station in Grantham, was opened in 1850 with the line. It was originally named Radcliffe on Trent, but that was changed in 1974 to just Radcliffe. In 1879, the Great Northern and London North Western Joint Railway opened a line from Saxondale Junction, which is just a few miles east of this station, for trains to travel from Nottingham to Northampton. Oh, a 4-car 158! The Holy Grail on this route. Or I should say the Holy Grail on the route to Liverpool Lime Street, but that was where it was headed. Now that we've had that very brief station history, let's have a run round and rundown of the station facilities here at Radcliffe. We have got 2 platforms here at Radcliffe. Here on platform 1 we have got a bench, a rectangular flappy plastic bin, information signs from EMR including one about station adoption. We have more important information about engineering works, a ticket machine which also incorporates a departure screen, the lovely bus shelter style waiting shelter. It seems we also have an induction loop for people who use hearing aids. Ooh, we have these little seats with handles and another poster about station adoption. We've also got a solar powered help point. As this sign posts us to the way out, let's go there. Out here there's some cycle parking. I assume that this area is intended to be used for car parking. There are a couple of cars parked here. Whether they're for using the station, I don't know. We also have a train timetable, information on where stuff is, a defibrillator, and if we go this way, go over the road bridge, that takes us to the other platform. Over here we've got a flappy plastic bin, a spot where I assume a sign used to be, a grit bin, station sign of course. Needless to say we had those on the other platform too, I just didn't film them. Going down this way, we've got the bus shelter, the benches with handles, another solar powered help point, information for passengers and a route map, yet another bench. We've got some artwork here, we've got a mosaic-y thing, steam locomotive, image of one of the local churches, and this beautiful thing. I don't know what style to call that. I really like. I think this one here is my favourite. The one with the heron. These are all by Year 12 art students from South Nottinghamshire Academy. I do apologise. This mosaic one is actually Birch class at Radcliffe-on-Trent Junior School, so they're not Year 12. There's a lot of very pretty plants here at Radcliffe. Quite a few big planters, some beautiful lavender, which is going to be really gorgeous when the flowers come out. Apparently this planter is actually a vegetable patch. I'd be interested to know what they grow there. This is a very nicely maintained station. Now, as much as this is a very pretty station, it's nicely maintained, it's got flowers, a vegetable patch, artwork, all sorts, there is one issue. There's only level access to one of the platforms. Here on platform 2, it's a stepped ramp. So unfortunately, if you need completely level access, you can only access platform 1, and that is quite disappointing. As well as the accessibility issue, I have noticed something else, and that's that there are only ticket buying facilities on platform 1 and not platform 2. I know that's not uncommon, but when you have to go over a great big road bridge and stuff, I think it would be useful to have ticket buying facilities on both platforms. Now, I've got about 20 minutes until my next train, so I'm going to have a quick little walk down to that village that's signposted. I assume it's Radcliffe. Apparently to get to the village centre we go straight down. Intriguing. Now back at Radcliffe station, ready for my next train to take me to Bingham, which will be here in just a few minutes. I have now made it to Bingham. Bingham, as with the other stations I've covered so far today, was opened in 1850 by the Ambergate, Nottingham, Boston and Eastern Junction Railway. The first station master was a bit of a naughty boy, because in 1851, just 1 year after the station opened, he absconded with 5 days of take-ins from passengers heading to Nottingham Fair. His name was Thomas Hand, and you could say he had his hand in the till. Between 1879 and 1953, Bingham was also served by another station, Bingham Road. This was for the Great Northern and London North Western joint railway line that went between Nottingham and Northampton. Before we do the usual run round and run down of station facilities, I just want to address one thing. When I was on the train, the guard announced that we should be careful when getting off the train because of the low platform. I actually got off the train at the Harrington Hump, because there is actually a Harrington Hump here, and I still had to jump down. I don't know how it was for people in the other carriages. That's quite bad that the Harrington Hump can't bring it up enough. Here at Bingham we have got 2 platforms. Station signs, of course. A little warning sign here reminding you don't lose a life. We've got the aforementioned Harrington Hump. Up there there's the footbridge, I'll have a little wander across that in a minute. Another solar powered help point, as well as more information signs. Over here we've got a shopping trolley. Every station needs one. We've got a bus shelter style waiting shelter. We do also have one on the other platform. Over here we've also got a ticket machine, although this doesn't have a departures display. There's also more information signs, flappy plastic bin, induction loop, and a departure screen that's not working. Oh, and another Harrington hump. Out here is the station car park, in which we have information signs and a help point. We've also got the old station building. It's no longer in use by the railway and seems to be used by something called Ginger Lily, but I don't know what that is. Somebody's actually put a sign up in the window that says this is not the train station. Oh, we've got an old post box in the old station building. It's GR. I'm going to have to check whether that's which George that is. There is also a grit bin and cycle parking. One thing I haven't noticed while I'm here is any signs about level access between the platforms, which is unfortunate, but I will see if I can find any. It could be a very long-winded way to get round, but we'll see. I've decided to go for a bit of a walk now because although I could stay at the station all the time, there are some young people listening to music about tuna and baked beans. Bingham is definitely bigger than I expected. Bingham. I spy 2 phone boxes. But do they still work? Are they even still phones? This one is now a defibrillator. And this one does still have a phone. Let's see if it works. Don't know if you can hear that, but there is a dial tone. It works. So I am back at the station. I did find the step-free access between the platforms. I say step-free instead of level access because I think it would be a struggle for anybody with mobility aids. It involves going down a dead-end road to a barrow crossing, then you take a walk up a random lane, if you want to call it that you don't really know where you're going. You then have to go over playing field. This playing field, which is full of holes from the studs on people's football boots, and then from that playing field you can walk up onto the platform. So there is step-free access between the platforms, but it's a long trek and I wouldn't say it was suitable for everybody. I think it would heavily depend on the mobility aid that you use, if any. I wouldn't advertise it as being level access. Personal opinion. Just looking in the opposite direction, I can actually see another barrow crossing, which would give you access to the playing field. So that's potentially another route, but I don't know what it is because it's not signposted. Now though, we're just waiting for our next train of the day to Aslockton. Another turbo star, another different mocket. Now those barriers on the level crossing have gone up, but I know there should be a freight train coming through in a few minutes. Let's get this one on camera. One of the best noises in the world, that, a level crossing alarm. Place good money on it being a 66 though, whoever is operating it. Well, that wasn't the train I was expecting. I was expecting that one afterwards. Well, the barriers have gone up again, so it's obviously not going to be for another few minutes. I have now made it to Aslockton. This is going to be my penultimate station of the day. As with the others I've covered, it was opened in 1850, but the station buildings themselves weren't actually opened until 1857. Unfortunately, the main bits of history I've found out about this station relate to accidents that have happened at the station or near the station. I'm going to hand over to Narration Sarah to tell you about all those, because I don't want to miss any details out. So take it away, Narration Sarah. On the 12th of October 1868, a goods train split near the station when a coupling chain broke. The driver shunted it onto the down line, and while it got back to the up line, it was hit by a goods train from Grantham. The driver of the Grantham goods train, Smalley Hutchinson, died, and the fireman was seriously injured. On the 31st of December 1904, George Skillington, aged 78, was killed on the line by a light engine. On the 23rd of July 1933, an excursion train from Skegness to Nottingham crashed through the level crossing gates at Aslockton. On the 1st of August 1937, 9-year-old Ernest Love tragically fell from a Nottingham to Mablethorpe excursion train and was killed. Not going to lie, it does make me wonder whether I should be a bit concerned given the amount of accidents and stuff this line seems to have had. But they were spread out, I suppose. Now it's time for a run round and rundown of the station facilities at Aslockton. We have got 2 platforms with the good old tactile paving, also a grit bin, information signs relating to engineering works and disruption, a help point, a bus shelter style waiting shelter, within which there is a ticket machine / departure screen and some little metal benches. There's also an extremely flappy rectangular flappy plastic bin, induction loop, a nice mosaic-y picture here with a train and everything in a church in the local area. On the opposite platform I can see we have a rather more substantial waiting shelter, so I think we'll have to nip over there and see what that's like. Alarms going off, barriers are going down, it's freight o'clock. It was a Class 60! Named William Wilberforce. That money I put on it being a 66, I lost. We got a 60 on camera! Never had a 60 on camera before, brilliant! Okay, let's go and explore the rest of the station, starting with the level crossing. So the only access between the platforms is provided by the level crossing. You've got to go on the road. You get to go past a grit bin and a bucket that's been turned into a planter though. Oh no, actually I think it's a barrel, beer barrel. We have got information posters, a help point, the induction loop, some more information posters, including another Be Kind poster, another grit bin, up onto this raised up, slightly raised up section of the platform. We've got some little flower boxes. We've got more information posters, including one from the Samaritans and one about the emergency alert system. An extremely flappy plastic bin, some onward travel information, and another poster with miles on it about social media for EMR, and of course the station sign. Now let's go and investigate that waiting shelter. So in here, far more robust waiting shelter. Got this map of Aslockton. Got a picture of Henry VIII and Thomas Cranmer with an image of the Book of Common Prayer. We've got various royals on this picture from 2012 celebrating the Diamond Jubilee. I'm assuming we've got Charles and Camilla, Old Queenie and the Duke of Edinburgh, and then William and Kate on the end. And here we've got another picture of Aslockton with Archbishop Cranmer's School in the centre. Also in the waiting shelter is a flappy plastic bin and a long blue bench. The building on the other platform sadly is clearly no longer in railway use. I'm just going to nip back over the level crossing now because there's just something else I want to explore. We've got cycle parking, more cycle parking with a note attached to the bikes. Something about the way they've been parked. And we've got the station car park. We've also got another view of the station building. So now I've explored the station at Aslockton, my next mission, should I choose to accept it, and I do, is to go to Elton and Orston. There's only one train I can get today, that's at 5:10, and it's over an hour's walk from here to Elton and Orston, and it's just about coming up for 3 o'clock, so I've got plenty of time to walk down there and explore the station. So let's go. I love this sign. What do I spy if it isn't an old postbox? King George VI. So as we are now leaving Aslockton and proper pavements and such like are going to be at a premium, I am going to shove my camera in my bag just as I did when I went from Aldeburgh to Eccles Road, just because I need to give the road my full attention. There are 2 routes you can go to get to Elton and Orston. There's only about a 2-minute time difference in them. I feel like I might have picked the wrong one, but we'll see how we go. Also, as I was wrapping up at Aslockton, there were some young people on the other platform. Rogues they were. As I left, one of them shouted at me, "Freak train fan." They need to get more original with the insults. I've been being called a freak since I can remember, not just because of trains. They need some new material. I have found Orston Millennium Green. Orston Millennium Green, there's actually a toilet. I'm kind of amazed, to be honest, because at first glance I thought this was going to be a birdwatching hide, But it's not, it's a toilet. And men and boys are to use the urinals. Is the toilet open? Can we see? Oh my god. Oh right, okay, so this is actually a composting toilet. They don't need any water to operate and are non-polluting and turn human waste into useful fertiliser for the trees. And the reason boys and men are asked to use the urinals is because people must be seated when going to the loo. And there's the sawdust for you to sprinkle in after it. There's nowhere to wash your hands. I assume this is sanitizer. So this toilet is actually twinned with a latrine in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I didn't even know toilet twinning was a thing. That's excellent. Do we dare check out the urinals? Or urinals? How do we pronounce that? You know, this will be the second video I've made where I investigate a urinal. Okay, so from here, I'm not going in any further. Pretty standard looking urinals from what I know. There we go. So I can't give you a full loo review, I'm afraid, because I don't really need to go that much. And I must admit, it wouldn't be my first choice of toilet. But in the environment, there's no other toilets around. It's actually an excellent resource. I've found a nice bench to have a sit on, because it's been quite a long walk. And it's not over yet. I have, however, written a song. Let's see if you like it. Apologies in advance. It's a long way to Elton and Orston. It's a long way to go. It's a long, long way to Elton and Orston, one of the least used stations I know. Goodbye to Eccles Road. Farewell, Burney Arms. It's a long, long way to Elton and Orston, but I hear it has its charms. You can take your fingers out of your ears now. We've made it to Orston. Is this Orston or Horston? I was going to check if that phone box worked, but it's been repurposed with flowers. Oh, sign for Elton. We're nearly there. The road I'm walking up is called Hill Road, and they ain't kidding. We are now leaving Orston, heading towards Elton. In the distance I see the sign El Dorado. I mean Elton and Orston. I see a distant pheasant. We finally made it. Between Elton and Orston, it's Elton and Orston. Well, let's head down and check out the station. On the way in, you've got the information signs, including the timetable, which will show you the almighty amount of times Elton and Orston served. Here we are, Saturday timetable. Here's Elton and Orston. Nothing coming from Skegness. Here's Nottingham to Skegness. 10:05 in the evening. The only train of the day. If I get down to the platform and it's been cancelled, I'm going to be so annoyed. After that rather lengthy walk from Aslockton, I finally made it to Elton and Orston, and my calves and feet are really letting me know about that. I don't know if the other route is less hilly, but I'd be willing to give it a go if I came here again. Quick little station history. The station here was opened in 1850 and was originally just called Elton. In the period 2021 to 2022, it was the least used station in the country, probably something to do with the fact that there's only one train a day. In 2022 to 2023, it's actually now dropped to the third least used in the country. As you can see from this timetable from 1850, Elton was originally much better served, with 4 up trains and 4 down trains each day, Monday to Saturday, and 2 each way on Sundays. None of the original station buildings survive, and the brick-built waiting shelters you can see on the platforms are actually from the 1980s. Now that we've done that brief station history, let's have a run round and run down of the facilities here at Elton and Orston before the one train of the day gets here. Here at Elton and Orston we have got 2 platforms. As I say, these brick-built waiting shelters are from the 1980s. In the waiting shelter there is a wooden bench. We do have that lovely road bridge up there. Station sign, of course. Got the good old tactile paving on the platform. heading back towards the way we came, we have got a grit bin, a help point, a flappy plastic bin, and some information signs from East Midlands Railway. Heading out this way, there's a smart card reader, more information signs, information to tell you which platform you need, so I've got to go over the little barrow crossing. Surprisingly, we do actually have a car park here. It's not the most sophisticated of car parks, but it's a car park. Now let's go and check out the other platform. Down here we've obviously got the safety sign, stop, look, listen, and the barrow crossing. Let's carefully check. Yeah, nothing coming. Because although nothing stops at the station, plenty goes through. Up here we've got a grit bin. As on the other platform, we've got the tactile paving. Exactly the same as the other platform, we have got the brick-built waiting shelter, which contains a wooden bench. Down here below the level of the road, it's actually quite peaceful. And it will not surprise you to know that thus far I am the only person here. Here at Elton and Orston there aren't any ticket buying facilities, there's no ticket machine, and there's no departure screen and no announcements either. So if the train was to get cancelled, you wouldn't know unless you were looking at like real-time trains or something. So something to bear in mind if you do decide to travel from here. Now all that's left to do is wait for my train to Grantham. Heading off to my city of Norwich. Couldn't have just paused to let me hop aboard. The train's at 5:10, it's nearly 5 and I'm still the only person here. I am pretty confident that I'm going to be the only one getting on this train, to the extent I'm actually going to make a bet with myself. I bet that nobody else comes to get on this train, and if I win that bet I can have a cake or some form of snack food from either Costa or Starbucks at Grantham. I can see the train pulling in. There is nobody else on the platform. I'm getting a cake. Excellent. I've made it to Grantham. My camera battery is screaming at me that it's going to die, so thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks to everybody who likes, comments, subscribes. Special thanks to everybody who is a patron or channel member. You guys really do keep the channel going, and your names will be on the screen in a minute. Thank you all so much. I'll see you next time for another railway adventure. Bye. As always, an extra special thank you to all my patrons and channel members, as well as everybody who donates to me on Ko-fi. You really do keep this channel going and make videos like this possible. If you'd like to become a patron, channel member, or just buy me a coffee on Ko-fi, the links to do so are in the description below. So the thing with getting myself cake didn't work out because Costa and Starbucks had shut up shop before I got back to Grantham. So I've had a little run to M&S Simply Food and got myself a chocolate filled muffin. It's not even funny.